Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, My So-Called Healthy Life. So, this is becoming a pattern. I woke up today at the exact same weight, and I'm okay with that, and I'll tell you why. Last night we went out to dinner. We went to this restaurant in Indianapolis called Napolese, and it is very healthy. And we actually got, for appetizer, this like bruschetta. Vegetarian. Everything I had was completely vegetarian, so yes, I'm still on the vegetarian track. I think today is day 57 of my weight loss journey. You know, and I kind of had this moment earlier today when I was like, I wish I'd been losing more weight, but at the same time, not gaining weight is a positive as much as losing weight. Does that make sense? Because a lot of times I get off my diet, so if I can just maintain it until the point where I'm like, okay, I'm back in it again, whatever, like that's good. So last night we went out to dinner with a friend, and we had some bruschetta. It was like this like tomato paste stuff in it with mozzarella, I think it was, or some kind of cheese, I don't know. And then just like put it on the bread. And then for dinner, I asked, it was like mostly pizzas and salads. It was like a Mediterranean kind of restaurant, Italian restaurant. So is that work? Mediterranean Italian? Does that work? Anyway, so I asked our waiter, I said, like, what's a really good vegetarian pizza that you have? Because the pizzas were like about that big. And I can't remember what it was called that he told me. It was called a maize pizza, I think. And it had like corn, tomato sauce, and that was like basically it. Like arugula on it, and I don't like arugula at all. So I like asked him to take off the arugula, and he was like, we can just put like some spinach on there. And I was like, that's fine. So that was what I had. I was totally full. I couldn't even finish it. But I did. And then, I mean, like we sat there for so long. It was like the longest dinner that by the end, I just like told him to keep the plate there. And so by the end, I had like eaten the whole thing. And I had Diet Coke as well, because I'm just going to come on here and always tell myself. But I woke up today and I was actually 0.2 pounds less than I was yesterday. So I guess I didn't stay the same, but I mean, really, I kind of did, right? And I'm totally okay with that. You know, it's like, I didn't do great, but I didn't do horrible either. I went out, I made good healthy choices with eating. I probably could have skipped the appetizer, but I was really hungry by the time we got to dinner. We didn't get there till like 7. I hadn't eaten all day, and I was really hungry. So that's where we're at with the weight loss journey. Yesterday, I did the meditation, and so many people responded to it positively. I was like, I guess people miss the meditations, right? And so I wanted to do today's meditation out of the same book. And I'm going to save this book every day and not read it till I come on camera, because I would like to give you guys like an authentic and genuine response to what I read. So today is, and this book is called The Daily Book of Positive Quotations by Linda Picone. You can get it anywhere on Amazon and all that kind of stuff. I think I might have them listed below. Whew. Okay. Do you ever like forget to just take deep breaths, and then when you do it, like in a meditative state, it like feels so good? Okay. I know that's totally corny, but those are the kind of things I miss my mom calling me and telling me. And she'd say like, I sat outside today and I just like took like all these deep breaths and looked at nature. And it was kind of like I was meditating, but I wasn't really. And like, do you ever just take lots of deep breaths and you feel so much better? And at the time I'd be like, Mom, you are such a corn dog, right? And then she'd be like, why? Like, do you ever just take deep breaths? And I'd be like, no. And like now I'm like that age and I look back and I'm like, oh my God, she was so right. Our parents were always right. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Scratch that statement. A few things they were right about. Depending on ourselves. Faced with crisis, the man of character falls back on himself. He imposes his own stamp of action, takes responsibility for it, makes it his own. Charles de Gaulle. Ultimately, we're responsible for what we choose to do or not do. If we're lucky, we have great support from friends and family, but at some point, we have to make decisions and take responsibility for them. Right or wrong, it's up to us. We take a deep breath, consider the advice we've been given, draw on our experience, and do what we think is best. If things work out, we are relieved. If they don't, we accept responsibility and move on. I get lots of advice and support, but I recognize that in the end, it's up to me to make the major decisions in my life. You know, that's so interesting on the heels of what the meditation was yesterday, which, I mean, I'm sure they kind of just go along. But like yesterday was a lot about like knowledge and wisdom, and today's was like having to make the decisions in our own lives and like how to do that. And I think, you know, like in any major life decision that I've made, I always typically ask my husband, my sponsor, and my best friend. And if they all give me the same answer, then I kind of know like how I need to act. But if each of them gives me different versions of the same or completely different, then I have to think, okay, Peter, what's best for you? And one of the things I have known in my heart of hearts through, let's say, the last 20 years, is when I typically go with my gut about something, I'm always right. Like, you know, not just like, oh, should I turn left or right on the street? Which I'm kind of usually right about that kind of stuff too. I don't know, I have like this weird intuition. But like typically when, you know, it's about major life choices. Like, I remember when I started my practice way back in the day, and like, you know, I wanted my office to very much look like a living room and like an apartment. And my my office does today even still look very much like a Soho apartment. And always wear like just a t-shirt and a baseball hat and, you know, cut off jean shorts or jeans and Vans and that kind of stuff, because I wanted to be very relatable. And I didn't want to be the guy that, you know, wore a suit and sat behind with a pen and paper, because I never related to those kind of counselors or therapists. Now, a lot of people did not like that when they came in. A lot of people, well, I wouldn't say a lot, a few, because I would make it very, very clear when I would talk to people on the phone first, I'm not your typical counselor, what you see. And today I don't do this. A lot of people ask me, like, are you in private practice? No, I don't practice anymore. But this is back when I did. A lot of people, you know, they would know before they got there. I would say, like, now, just so you know, I wear a hoodie, I wear a baseball hat or a, you know, trucker hat, like, I'm very laid back, it's conversational, you know, it's talk therapy, it's not gonna be clinical. I have a huge clinical background, but that won't be what it is. But that was something that I went with my gut. And I can remember a lot of people were very much like, this won't work for you, and it worked very well for me. And what it did, in fact, was it attracted the kind of clients to me that felt very comfortable or responded well to that kind of technique. Does that make sense? Or that kind of level of comfort. And those are the kind of therapists that I respond to as well. Like, I talk a lot in my vlog about being in marriage counseling. So my husband and I started going to marriage counseling in April because we want to just like improve our marriage to like the next level. And so we go together one week, and then the next week we each go separately. And so I'm working on a lot of separate issues with him, like my grief over my mother, or like my life's dreams and things like that. And a lot of 12-step work that I do, I bring to my sessions with him. And my counselor is this 34-year-old guy. He's very cool. And he always has like jeans and like those happy socks that are all different colors, and like wingtips, or like, you know, some kind of like running shoe. And then he always has like a button down. And he always has like this chair that he swings around in, and he's very, you know, relatable on my level. And I so respond to that so well that, you know, it works really well for him. And I think a lot of people in that situation wouldn't feel comfortable with that. And so I think it's always going with your gut, you know, like I wrote my novel in 3 weeks, and it's not the best thing I could put out. My next book is the best thing I could put out. But a lot of people are like, you wrote your book in 3 weeks. Well, I knew what I wanted to say. I said it and I moved on. And I think that a lot of times making decisions in your life is just going with your gut and sticking to what you think is the right decision, and not letting people make you waver in your choices. So do you have major life decisions right now that you're having to make? What does your gut tell you? You know, I used to do pros and cons lists, but I don't do that anymore, because sometimes I think myself out of what the right choice is. And I think in our heart of hearts, we always know what the right thing to do is. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.